Monday morning, everybody. This is Grace, and in this video I want to talk about where narcissism can begin, if not at the home. Okay, it's a generalization, not everywhere, but it's on my mind today because I was thinking about this young woman. She was probably mid-20s, working at a place, and her manager, I don't like the word superior or inferior, I mean superior or subordinate, but her supervisor, manager, was around my age, in their 50s, he was, and his way of behaving around her, I got to see, it was creepy. And it was like she was his possession, and he had to take care of his possession. Now, a lot of people know that people who are in management, they seem to think, they have, people generalize and say that people in management are narcissistic as it is. Well, this was just downright creepy. We used to just call them dirty old men, that kind of thing. And it was a professional environment. So that was on my mind. But what I'm really thinking about is the narcissism that can develop from the workplace. When young people are hired these days, they don't realize that what they're earning, they think they're earning a good amount, and that was the amount that I was earning when I was their age in the 80s, But they think that they're really making it in the world, and they're so naive. I'm generalizing here. The ones I've run across have actually even told me how much they earn, and these are ones in power positions, directors. And what they earn is just crap, okay? It's not what they should be paid for, the amount of, everything that they do. And responsibility, big time responsibility. But they believe it. And I'm not blaming them at all. No. I'm blaming the people who hire them and the people who hire those people too. It's the corporations. It's the corporate heads. The corporation is not a person. But it's the people who put so much pressure on each level, like middle management and lower management. I don't think anybody's ever said lower management, I've heard, but you know what I mean. They put so much pressure on them that they have to do anything, even if it's illegal or touching illegal or immoral, just shameless, that they put so much pressure on them. If you don't do what we tell you to do, you'll lose your job. And what they don't realize is they can lose a lot more than their job. They can lose their freedom, go to prison for it. But it's pathetic. It's sad. And this, I think, is where the narcissism can be taught to somebody. I don't believe a person is born with it. I believe it's their environment, not just their family, just not their friends, not just school. All of it together, where they work, where they play, anything can add to a person feeling so much pressure that they do that they do whatever they're told to do. Okay, and the question, it begs the question, what can we do? What can we do about it? And there isn't that much we can do about it. I have seen situations like this where a woman it was years ago, probably not 10 years, but just under, and she was around the age I am now, and she had a lot of trouble, and she wanted to get a case against this place where I was working too, and I don't remember which one she chose, whether it was sexism or ageism or what, but they were very sexist, okay, against women. Even if the woman's shoes made a noise, she had to go home and change them, or she was fired. Or they fired someone because their shoes made noises. Like, not sandals, but close enough. And I remember her dealing with it. And around that time, I said, this. I've been working at this place for like 14 months. And I said, no, this sexism is getting worse. When I, saw that they fired a woman because her shoes made noises. And told me that they said, well, we really don't want to say anything, but your shoes make a little noise. It was ridiculous, And after I did a claim on them against sex discrimination, they fired, I quit. They fired all the women. Yeah. Let them go. you know, and I just had males. And anyway, I had called about that. I've called about asking different questions, different times, different years, about like ageism and sexism to the state, and I was told so many times that you would have a very difficult problem to prove it. So it's a waste of your time, it's a waste of our time kind of attitude. Wow, how do you think that this kind of thing just keeps going? Is when you can't deal with your state or you know, your anybody. There's nobody you can turn to because they say it's useless. You have to prove it. What, you have to have a witness these days? What does that sound like? Like years of old? You know, or what? You know, sure, other people, but wow, the things that they say, you know, that I've been told that you have to go through to try to prove something like that, what difference is it going to make? But anyway, they're getting by with hiring these young people who are naive, and we're all suffering from it, all of us, because you have whatever kind of service you go to, if it's something especially medical, and they have young nurses working by themselves, supposedly under the what is it called? There's supposed to be a doctor, an old, you know, doctor, an MD that signs off, but you don't see that. You don't ever see the doctor. You don't even know the doctor's name, and it's just run by young people that haven't lived long enough to really understand how to put it all together, and they haven't lived long enough, haven't worked long enough to put it all together, to see, you know, like I've had them give me a medication that caused my glucose level to go up. I'm type 2 diabetes. Diabetic. They should have known you can't do that, but they're so young and so naive, and they're not. Where's the doctor? Where's the doctor signing off on what they're doing? But this is what it's become. This is what it's become these days. And that does make us question, how can you stop it? You know, if they're going to be protected by the next level that you would complain about, complain to, not about, to. You know, you try to talk to their manager, and the manager is so narcissistic to keep his or her job, won't do anything about it. You know, because they can hire these younger people to run the show because they can pay them less because of their lack of experience, which they require, you know, for anybody else. They were used to require it was experience, or it just boggles my mind. Anyway, I'm on a rant today about this. I've seen too much lately where they're not getting that person with them, the older person, because there's no older person working in any of these places. I have been to so many places lately, and it's all people in their 20s and early 30s. And it's like, where are the elders? You know, where are the people who actually have experience past, say, 5 years, or past just getting their license, you know? Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.